From a landscape that drains to one that retains. We attempt to build one of the largest ponds we've ever built on a farm in desperate need of water. Despite equipment breakdowns, mysterious challenges hidden within the landscape, and our largest workshop to date, we somehow managed to create this beautiful wildlife pond and more here at Belmare Farm. The first question I ask for any project is, what potential and possibility does the landscape hold? Others spend tens of thousands of dollars on complicated designs and contour maps, all developed at a computer. All this when what really matters is what's under your feet. The human body is finely tuned to receive and interpret the vital communication to truly understand a landscape. When you have a deep clay layer or bedrock, this provides a possibility to create a perennial body of water. Without this vital component, the water will infiltrate into the ground, recharging the groundwater, but leaving your pond. At Belmare Farm, over 3 days, I walked the landscape, assessing its potential. With many possible sites for water capture, what mattered most was the results of the test slices. During every consultation, I performed test slices at various locations to determine the soil conditions, especially the proportion of clay. Without the gift of clay from the land, the whole project would have to change. Thankfully, the land provided clay in abundance. In some of our test slices, we found a deep clay layer that we could use for the bottom of our pond. The project was on. In fact, because we found so much clay and our catchment area was so large, we had the chance to build one of the largest ponds we've ever attempted. Even though our crew was tiny, our timeline was short, and our budget was limited, we decided to go for it. During the first week, we first gained steam surveying and clearing the topsoil as we geared up to construct the most important part of the pond, the key. The key of a dam or core trench is the most important piece to get right in any natural pond. First, the key needs to be cut into and well connected with a clay layer or the right kind of bedrock layer at the bottom of the pond. Then clay needs to be carefully added and compacted layer by layer until it reaches the new level of water. The key construction was going smoothly when suddenly disaster hit. A huge problem. On only the second day using it, our rental sheep's foot trench compactor sprung a leak and broke down. This meant we had to adjust and compact the key with the bucket and tracks of the excavator, wasting precious excavator and operator time at this critical point. What made this even worse was we were only 1 week away from hosting our first ever 8-day water cycle restoration intensive. 30 of our students were about to descend upon the farm for our first ever hands-on training. Our small team had our work cut out for us to be ready. This could have been a huge setback, but luckily, we got the compactor roller fixed in a couple of days. Now, the race was on to get the pond build back on track before starting our intensive. From all across the world, Water Stories core course students came in for an intensive on water cycle restoration. It was up to us to pack in a month's worth of hands-on training into just 8 days. To help keep the pond build on schedule while we trained our students, we brought in a previous apprentice and friend, Jared, to continue the process. We realized this intensive was the first hands-on experience many of our students had had at this scale. So we decided to kick things up a notch, let them design and build their own water body. In just a few days, students surveyed the land and found a location for a small water body. After we dug a test slice and found clay, it was game on. Students took turns learning how to use the excavator to create an earthen water body of their own. But the training didn't stop there. We also had them survey and measure the spillway for the larger pond, marking out the precise grade for the terrace, allowing water to gently flow across the landscape when the pond overflows. It was tricky, especially for those that had never used a laser level before, but I was proud to see that by the end of it, they all got the hang of it. While the students were surveying the spillway, we found something that could jeopardize the whole pond project. Drain tile. This clay drain tile, installed by farmers decades ago seeking to drain this land, could compromise the whole project. Draining the pond and the surrounding landscape we seek to rehydrate. Without endless digging, there was no way to know how much drain tile was across this landscape, because you can't easily detect clay tile in the ground. We had to build carefully, breaking through the drain tile that we did find. Thankfully, because of the key of the pond carefully connected into a clay layer deeper than this tile, this wasn't an issue for us. But without this essential step, this would have been a huge disaster. Only after the winter rains would nature let us know if we had done our job well. Time was ticking on the intensive. There was only 2 days remaining before everyone would depart. But we wanted to pack in one more project for students to get as much hands-on experience as possible. So we decided to tap a spring. Thanks to some careful observations of this farm's steward, Susan, we found an untapped spring right near the students' pond. It's delicate work tapping a spring. It requires a lot of careful planning, digging, and positioning of the pipe. One wrong move and we'd have to start all over, and we didn't have any time to spare. Thankfully, we had enough experience under our belt to successfully guide the students through each stage of the spring tapping successfully. Over the last 2 days, we dug the spring and set the copper pipe to carry structured, pristine drinking water to everyone who visited. As the last day approached, there was just one thing left to do: create beauty. All around the world, springs are honored with carvings and sculptures that make it a center for the gathering of both humans and wildlife. We scouted the property and found the perfect trunk to carve out and fit into the spring. We also gathered an enormous fallen oak to add into the edge of the pond to improve the aquatic habitat. Though the transport was tricky, both fit into their places wonderfully. After the students departed, we stayed for 2 more weeks to wrap up the pond and all the other parts of the project. Overall, it was a hectic, wild month with tons of challenges, but in the end, we pulled it off and felt proud of the impacts our pond would have across the farm and wider ecosystem. 6 months later, we came back to check on the progress. We were blown away by what we saw. Despite being only a few months old, the pond was not only full, but overflowing into the spillway, feeding the surrounding landscape with water. Now this farm has a stable water retention landscape that will provide water for all life on this land. Not only that, but the ecosystem had already started to take notice. Elk, deer, bear, frogs, turtles, and migrating birds all found their way to our pond, which will now become an ecological oasis across generations. Some people say that it's not possible to make change as an individual or small group. But on this landscape, on this farm, we left a positive legacy with our own two hands. One that will restore and rehydrate across years, across centuries, and across the lives of everyone and everything that calls this place home. Are you ready to rejuvenate landscapes, restore ecosystems, and even revive rivers? To move beyond the theory and start practicing ecosystem regeneration? To succeed, you'll need skills, support, and confidence. It's why I created the Water Stories core course, to empower you to heal landscapes and revive waterways with your own hands and heart. I've spent the past decade implementing projects all around the world. Not theoretical designs, but real results on land. I've put all of the lessons I've learned from working with legends like Sepp Holzer and Rajendra Singh into this course. The Water Stories core course gives you everything you need to actualize projects on the ground and in your community. For each module, actions guide you through the experiences you'll need to become competent and then confident reading and regenerating land. From the technical aspects of earthworks and ecosystem establishment, to the personal development you'll need to be effective, to providing a business roadmap for success, this course offers a transformational experience that reshapes your relationship with water, land, and life. As hopeful as I was when we began, even I've been surprised how quickly it's delivered results for our students. No matter where you live and no matter your background, you can help heal the earth with water cycle restoration. Check the link below for upcoming courses, and I'll see you in class.